Hey everyone, welcome to episode 138 of Brew Talk with Mr. Beer. My name is Robert Lewis. I will be your host once again for today's show. As always, we appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in, watch our videos. Hopefully you're enjoying them. We did miss a video last week for the first week in 137 videos, 137 weeks. It's a lot of weeks, man. Now I've had a bad cold. Last week, so I was just out, still feeling a little bit this week, but I wanted to get a video out for you guys this week as we're leading up into Christmas. Should be a quick and easy one for you. I got no notes today, so we're just winging it off top of the old noggin to get this bad boy done. Before I dive into what we're going to talk about, I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Hope you guys are able to celebrate with some friends and family over the weekend coming up here. Our office will be closed on Friday, just in case you're wondering for whatever reason, so that way we can celebrate with our friends and families as well. Hopefully you're sharing some home brews, drinking some home brews, doing all those cool and fun family traditions. So today's topic I'm going to talk about just real quick is basically a lot of people are getting a Mr. Beer kit for Christmas. It's probably the number one Christmas gifting item in the entire world. Don't fact check me on that one. But yeah, so what do you need to know to brew your first batch of Mr. Beer well? I think there's a few simple things that the first time brewers should know. One, make sure you read all the instructions before you get started. So that will help you understand how the process works, understand what you need to have ready to brew as well. So make sure you got all your utensils you need, all that jazz. So reading through the instructions carefully, don't just blow through them. Read through them carefully, understand them, make sure you got everything lined up so you're ready to go. Help you have a successful brew. Second tip would be to make sure to check your fermenter for leaks. Fermenter. You always want to make sure you're installing your spigot right. Sometimes it can leak out of the bottom here. It could be like your washer's on backwards, or it's on inside instead of on the outside, or it's just not tight enough. So make sure you put your spigot on. Make sure you follow the instructions on that. Make sure you're testing it how it's supposed to be. Fill with water, let it sit. If it doesn't leak, you're good to go. If it leaks, dump the water out, take it apart, put it back together. If it still leaks, give us a call. I'll get you a replacement right out so we can get you a new spigot or a new fermenter or whatever you may need to brew your batch. The next one I would say is make sure you pick some good water. So if you're a first-time brewer, I would definitely use like bottled water for your first one instead of tap water. Just get 2-gallon jugs from the store. You'll be good to go on that. Another tip is sanitizing. Make sure you are sanitizing everything that come in contact with your beer or that might come in contact with your beer. You can't be overcautious when it comes to sanitizing things. The more the merrier when it comes to sanitizing anything that comes in contact with your beer. So please make sure you're very diligent about that process, as that can impact your beer and the results that you get and make it a bad first time brewing experience for yourself. Another one would be temperature. Sorry, I'm saying these off the top of my head. Like I said, no notes. Temperature control is key. Without proper temperature control, your beer is not going to ferment properly. The range is 68 to 78 degrees, I believe. Ideally, you want to be 70 to 72. If you can't, usually this time of year, usually a little colder than that, it's fine. You might just take your beer a little longer to ferment than usual. But yeah, make sure you're as close as you can to that temp. I mean, if you have a room that's warm and that sits in that range, throw it in there, you'll be good to go. Next one is patience. So, that fermentation time. Patience. The very first batch of beer I brewed, I was so excited when I first started working here like 10 years ago. I think I brewed it in like 5 days and I was like, I just want to drink it now. So I just bottled it and let it sit for like a few days and I was drinking it. It was terrible because I rushed the process. Didn't have patience. So patience is very hard for a lot of people, especially for me, and home brewing does not help with my patience at all, but having patience will help your beer taste better. Follow the instructions, keep your temp right, and just have patience. Let it do its thing. When it tastes like flat beer, you're ready to bottle. Don't rush the process. I know everyone gets excited, brew their first batch of beer, they want to drink it and get it going. Don't rush the process. If you're doing dry January like some people do, then you can start your batch and just give it the time, let it ferment, let it go. It'll be good to go. 2 weeks in the fermenter, or actually 10 to 14 days. But if you want to go longer because you're cooler, 2 weeks you can do, 14 days. Bottle, condition 14 days, and you're good to go. So just have some patience in there. And last thing, that's it. So it's just mostly read the instructions, thoroughly. Make sure you got all your equipment lined up that you need. Use good bottled water. Make sure you're sealing your spigot properly. Take your time, have some patience, have some fun, drink some beer while you're brewing beer. That's the last rule of home brewing. It's gonna wrap up for this one. It was a quick one. Hopefully it'll help some new brewers out. If you are a new brewer and you're gonna watch this video maybe after Christmas, check out our Facebook group, Mr. Beer's Brewing Society. You can find that just by searching Mr. Beer's Brewing Society on Facebook. We'll try and do our best. We get a big rush of people in after Christmas, but to let everyone in as quick as we can. You can hang out with fellow home brewers. A ton of knowledge in there. It's a great place to hang out, learn about the hobby, and the fun joys of brewing with Mr. Beer. I hope you guys all have a great, merry, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas from everyone here at Mr. Beer. We appreciate all of our loyal customers, everyone who's had a good time with us over the last few years. Yeah, we will talk to you guys next week before the New Year's. I will hopefully have a video, unless I die of a cold. But that will wrap it up for this week, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Cheers. Cheers.